borders with the Dominican.
Her name is Serena Buffalino. They call her Mrs. B, and her class always begins with a pledge.
Something local, something global. Haiti.
They're words that carry weight here. Helping yourself means helping others, giving back, here and a world away in Haiti.
And nobody's helping them, except for people like us.
It was through her the class learned of Haiti, of the nearly 1 million orphans, many with no school, no support, no Mrs. B in their lives.
They could not wrap their head around that.
Mrs. B's students are among Toronto's most at risk. Their challenges vary from emotional and behavioral difficulties to learning disabilities. Their trauma is so severe they can't function in a regular school setting, and we aren't allowed to show most of their classmates.
For most of the kids, most of society has turned them away. And in this classroom, they're accepted. They're accepted no matter what for who they are.
Take Yolanda. She came here last year so burdened and withdrawn, she would often fall silent, sometimes for days on end. It was, she says, Mrs. B's patience, her quiet encouragement, that saved her.
She actually saves people's lives from dangers.
And perhaps that's why these marginalized kids feel such a kinship with the orphans of Haiti, and why they were moved to act.
And so when Yolanda and Jackie and Patrick said, well, Miss B, we need to build them a school.
Build a school, no easy task. They started out raising money. They sold samosas, washed cars, screened movies, you name it. And in just a few months, this little class raised $20,000. So much, it's not just a one-room schoolhouse they can build, but a full 3-story school. And so Mrs. B set off on a journey she'd dreamed of, up into the dusty mountains above Port-au-Prince to a town called Canaan. It's home to thousands of earthquake refugees who live with no running water, no electricity, and no school, until now. The first step was a temporary school. It's up and running, 53 students already in uniform. The permanent school for 250 is growing from its foundations.
It makes me want to cry because she just makes me feel so awed, and I'm very proud of her.
All of this because of a handful of students back in Canada, and Mrs. B, the teacher who believed in them.
These are for you.
At another fundraiser, a special tribute to the students, accepted by someone who, without Mrs. B, might not be here.
They believe in me and I believe in them, and together we not only change our lives, but we change the world around us.
For inspiring great things and seeing the potential in everyone, Serena Buffalino is this week's Everyday Hero.
This is the reason why I do what I do, is because of Yolanda and all the...
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love. We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
morning. Good morning. How are we doing today? I'm telling you, I've been up all night. I'm just going to say it, everybody. The listeners out there, I've been up all night. You know why? Because this is going to be an epic show. We have some queens, some royalty in the house, as they say. They're in the house. They are in the house. I'm telling you, and it's brought by a wonderful visionary, Mrs. And I had to say, I had to put the doctor to it because she is officially Dr. Nikki. And I'm just telling you, this woman has been building some things. She has been in people's lives. She's an impact, all that kind of stuff. And you're going to get to know them. And then after that, after everything else she does, she's a speaker, she's a teacher, she's a presenter, she's traveled around the world, she's a marketing brand expert, all that stuff, all in the one. But on top of that, she has created a community of women to come together and be in this collaboration book called I Am an Overcomer Woman. Now, come on now. Now, you know it's the woman of the year. And I'm just saying, I'm just not going to say it's the woman of the year. It's the woman of the century. We are rocking it. We are rocking it through all this pandemic and everything going on. We are crushing it. I mean, I love you, man. You know, I really do. I really do. But hey, you gotta give us props here. We are totally rocking it. And this group of women is like, you're going to hear some stories. You're going to hear some background stuff. You're going to hear that, hey, you talking about some Wonder Woman. They beat out Wonder Woman. Let's just say that. They beat out Wonder Woman. So we're going to hear from these ladies. But before we do, I just have to just say, you know, I always have my quote for the day, something for you to really think about, something positive. It's all about the positivity. We have too much negative going around in the world. Okay. You know, we got the earthquakes, floods, all that stuff, the pandemic. You know, we can talk about that all day. But is something in here that you got to always remember. And this is what I always say, you have your foundation in life. And this is what I call your PPD. Your PPD, your purpose, your passion, your drive in your life. When you have that purpose, when you know your purpose, when you know who you are, your genius, your gifts in life, I'm telling you, no one can stop you. I don't care who says what to you. Hey, Bar, you know, you don't look too good today. You know what? I'm awesome. I'm fabulous. Hey, Bar, your earrings don't look right. Hey, they look good to me. I have to keep moving. Hey, Bar, I don't like that shirt. You know what? This little things. See, people get the little things. They'll come on the littlest things and get you all riled up and stop you from moving and focusing. So, talking about focus, the quote for today is focus on the outcome, not the obstacle. Focus on the outcome, not the obstacle. And I'm telling you, these ladies, these queens today, and Dr. Nikki, they've been focusing on the outcome ever since. Their stories have took them on a journey in life, but guess what? They came out on the outside of it and they said, you know what? Nothing's going to take me. Nothing's going to tear me down. I am focusing. They've been focused and they focus and they've been in these chapters, these books, put them on, put pen to paper and they already like last week, we kind of missed. I wanted them last week, but everybody's so busy. We get busy because hey, they royalty, they queens. So I'm so glad I got them on today. But last week was their launch for their book. So let's celebrate these women. When they come on, celebrate them. Come on and give them the love and everything. I know you're all watching out there at E360 TV and on Facebook. If you're on YouTube under the Diamond Factor, give these ladies some love. Give Dr. Nikki some love because it takes time and effort. It's one thing to go through something. We all go through. We all got our stories in life. It's another step. It's another step when you can say, you know what, I'm going to take all the ugly and all the gooky and everything, if you want to call it, and then put to pen to paper and then put it in a book and then put it out there to the world. So it takes time. A lot of people won't do that part. They'll talk about it all day, but they won't put the pen to paper. And guess what? When you do that, when they did this, they are leaving a legacy. They are leaving something that people can look back at and read their stories and say, they went through it. I mean, oh my God, I'm going through the same thing. And they got through that and they focused and they didn't look at all the obstacles. They looked at that outcome. I know I can do it too. And that's what it's all about. It's all about helping each other. And this is what they're doing. So, you know what? I'm going to have to step to the side because we got to give this time for these ladies. This is going to be awesome. They're going to be with us for a while. So we're going to be talking about some things. We're going to understand why Dr. Nikki even brought this thing. 14 stories. I'm just looking at this. I was reading it the other day. 14 stories of 14 ladies in this collaboration book. Perspective of every reader to read this, because guess what? I'm telling you, you're going to get so much out of this. And at the end, Dr. Nick's going to show you where you can order the books. And I'm saying it right now. And I got to put my little hat on when I get kind of determined here. Please reach out, buy the book, get to understand these women. Reach out to them. Reach out to Dr. Nikki. These are people that are really rocking and crushing it. Why not do the extra? It's one thing to be on a show and talk about it. It's the other thing to put stuff into action. So they put time and effort in this. Why don't you take the time to learn about them, buy the book? If you're not going to read the book, there's a whole lot of people you can give it as a gift, and they can get a lot of it out of it. So with that said, let's see what we're going to do. Oh, we're going to start the show real quick. But I got to bring them on royalties, so you're going to see another video because I got to bring these queens on right. So we're going to start the show right now. Okay, so somebody was telling me, I just checked in the back, that they said my audio is cutting in and out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play back Help Heal Humanity. That's one of our sponsors for our group. And then I'm going to get that fixed because the last thing I need is for audio to go crazy. So give me a minute. We are going to put on Help Heal Humanity. And then from that point, then I will be back and everything should be a little bit better. Here we go.
Haiti borders with the Dominican.
Her name is Serena Buffalino. They call her Mrs. B, and her class always begins with a pledge.
Something local, something global. Haiti.
They're words that carry
Yes.
weight here. Helping yourself means helping others, giving back, here and a world away in Haiti.
And nobody's helping them, except for people like us.
It was through her the class learned of Haiti, of the nearly 1 million orphans, many with no school, no support, no Mrs. B in their lives.
They could not wrap their head around that.
Mrs. B's students are among Toronto's most at risk. Their challenges vary from emotional and behavioral difficulties to learning disabilities. Their trauma so severe they can't function in a regular school setting, and we aren't allowed to show most of their classmates.
For most of the kids, most of society has turned them away. And in this classroom, they're accepted. They're accepted no matter what for who they are.
Take Yolanda. She came here last year so burdened and withdrawn, she would often fall silent, sometimes for days on end. It was, she says, Mrs. B's patience, her quiet encouragement, that saved her.
She actually saves people's lives from dangers.
And perhaps that's why these marginalized kids feel such a kinship with the orphans of Haiti and why they were moved to act.
And so when Yolanda and Jackie and Patrick said, well, Miss B, we need to build them a school.
Build a school, no easy task. They started out raising money. They sold samosas, washed cars, screened movies, you name it. And in just a few months, this little class raised $20,000. So much, it's not just a one-room schoolhouse they can build, but a full 3-story school. And so Mrs. B set off on a journey she'd dreamed of, up into the dusty mountains above Port-au-Prince to a town called Canaan. It's home to thousands of earthquake refugees who live with no running water, no electricity, and no school until now. The first step was a temporary school. It's up and running. 53 students already in uniform. The permanent school for 250 is growing from its foundations.
It makes me want to cry because it's just, she just all makes me feel so awed, and I'm very proud of her.
All of this because of a handful of students back in Canada and Mrs. B, the teacher who believed in them.
These are for you.
At another fundraiser, a special tribute to the students, accepted by someone who without Mrs. B might not be here.
They believe in me and I believe in them, and together we not only change our lives, but we change the world around us.
For inspiring great things and seeing the potential in everyone, Serena Buffalino is this week's Everyday Hero.
This is the reason why I do what I do, is because of Yolanda and all the...
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a Chemo Buddy for life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy. And we are all here for you as a community of love. We are Chemo Buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
Okay, hopefully I'm okay with sound. I'm still kind of working with the tech people in the background. So what I'm going to do, because I don't want to hold up the queens, I'm going to bring on first Dr. Nikki, and I'm going to have her explain while we still work with me. But I'm going to have her introduce herself, explain why she brought this wonderful, awesome, collaboration book called "I Am an Overcomer for Women." I just can't wait. But we got to get this together. Like we said, I just said earlier, focus on the outcome, not the obstacle. So I'm focusing on the outcome. See, this is a prime example of when you say quotes, how you work it. So with that, I'm gonna do it right because I still gotta bring them up, even though you can't if I'm breaking up or whatever. But here we go. Here we go. The queen is here. The queen. Okay, lady. Hello, 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 hello.
My dear friend, my dear friend, my dear friend. You know what? I promise you, Barbara, it has been a long week. I promise you, this week has been a long week. I'm so happy to be on my girl's show, though. You know how we do it, man.
Yes, second time around.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Hey, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you just a little time to give all the listeners about what you're about. Then I'm going to come back and we're going to bring in the other queens. I want to make sure my sound is good because this is too awesome. This is too awesome.
This is big. This is big. Just to be on your platform is amazing. You know, I am such a Barbara fan. I am such a fan of yours. And I'm so proud of the things that you're doing, allowing us to come on this platform. I mean, folks don't have to be nice. I'm telling you, people don't have to be nice. And so with the Overcomer book, the book is here. It came on my birthday last week. And I'm just amazed of the stories that these ladies poured out their heart just to. I tell you what, as an overcomer woman, Barbara, I look at it as our coming out, as our way of saying we went through this, but we don't look like nothing we have been through. Oh, Jesus, Lord, have mercy today. And so this book God put on my heart to just allow women of faith to come in and just tell their story. So many women out there that are hurting and they are like, man, I really want to tell my story, but I don't think nobody will listen. Listen to me. Let me be clear. Don't worry about what folks say. You can't worry about what people say. You got to do what God has told you to do so you can live the life according to his plan for your life. And so this book, this anthology, I want to give a shout out to my coach. I will always honor protocol. I want to give a shout out to my coach, Coach Kern, for pushing me to do this. We got another one coming out in August. Another anthology, I Am Overcomer 2. But this in particular anthology, I want to give a shout out to every woman that told their story in the book. We love you guys. And I'm excited about being a part of what Barbara has going on this morning because her shows are always inspiring. She's a life changer. She's a game changer. She's a trendsetter. And she's definitely a trailblazer. So, Barbara, we just thank you for allowing us to be here. And we're excited about all things that's happening with this book. We're very excited. So with that being said, go get the book. Go get the book. I Am an Overcomer Woman. 14 Christian women who have overcame some difficult obstacles through telling their stories. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And you have to tell your story. You have to stand on your truth and know that God will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He knows you by your name. He knows the hair that you got on your head. Don't worry about your past. My motto in this life is your past do not define who you are. Don't let no one put you down. Don't let no one knock your spirit, man. Know who you are and stand on his promises. And God's promises is yay and amen. That's his promises. And that's what I'm believing. And so I'm excited to have all the ladies with me. I'm excited to have Barbara to be on the Barbara Beckley show. Woo, 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 woo.
Well, Miss Queen, I'm doing a quick tech check. Can you hear me okay, lady?
Of course, you sound amazing. Of course, you always do.
Yes. Woo! Now I can really party with the queens and Miss.
Where they at?
Where they at? So before we bring these queens on, I want to ask Dr. Nikki, because one thing that I always ask for everybody that I bring on my shows, because I know you didn't just like pop up as a baby and just started doing all this branding, the speaking and everything else. I mean, it took, like you said, the stories that we're going to hear from other ladies and you. Ooh. So please, just a little bit before we bring them on, what really just helped you say to yourself, you know what, I want to get this book together. You know what, I've been through some things. Well, what really just inspired you just to do that next level?
I am happy. I'm happy. What inspired me to do this book is because I felt like if you don't tell your story, somebody else gonna tell your story. Tell your own truth. Stand in your truth. And I'm with the love of my life, my husband. When I married him, my life just did a transition. That's why it's so important to be connected to people who believe in you. And so when I got married to my husband and my life began to be better, Barbara, I said, you know what? It's time to tell this story. And I was like, and I wonder how many other women who want to tell their story, who have overcame my story from being homeless, who have overcame rejection all of my life, literally all of my life, who have had $30,000 a month in my hand, cash money, and lost it all because of pride, who have been divorced, who've had abortions. I'm very transparent on my life because it ain't my life, it's God's life. When we learn that, Barbara, all kind of doors are open up. Don't ever be in denial of what you've been through and what you put your own self through. Because a lot of the stuff that we went through, we don't want to play the victim. We want to say, you know what? I put myself through the situation. I went through this and I went through that. But it was a lot of things that I did to myself to put me through the situation I went through. Once we once we learn how to accept us as a person, that's when God can show up and show out. And so what have happened, I had to learn how to stand on my truth to say, I did this, I did that. And once I was able to tell my truth, that's when God sent, my husband my way, Barbara, and things have been just so much better for me and my children, so much better in my life. And my husband and God allowed me to live the life that God has for me. And so I'm happy. That's what made me decide to write this amazing book. I am happy, and I want you to understand we can go through it, but we don't have to stay in it. Keep pushing, keep moving, keep striving.
That book, show it real slowly because I want people to really see that book.
I used to model, so I can definitely model that.
There we go, lady. There we go. This is all about you and your wonderful queens in this book. Like I said, I always say this, and Dr. Nikki, we talked about this a little bit. Collaboration is the key. I know collaboration is the key. Everybody, so I want to go to my way. Don't show me. I don't want to hear what you got to say because you might take it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. When Dr. Nikki, I seen that she put this book together, we talked. She was on my show last time, and she was like, Barbara, I said, you know what? You don't have to say nothing else, Queen. I want you to come on with your other queens. We're gonna dedicate this whole show to you, and that's what we're doing. And I'm just in awe because just me, I always say God just used me as a vessel for others so they can just rise up. So if this is gonna help you even rise even more,
thank you. Yes, it is. Yes, just this platform. And the thing about it, you're so right. Collaboration is the way to go. And I have a network called the Herpreneur Network, and we have about 1,500 people in this women in this network. All of them are Christian women, and I tell them all the time, you cannot do anything by yourself. You got to bring in other people that can hold your arms up. Sometimes you shine, sometimes others shine. Learn to know when it's time for you to sit back and then learn how to know when it's time for you to be the forefront. I'm not gonna always be the forefront of everything. I don't mind taking a back seat when I need to, because it ain't all about me all the time. And when we learn that, we can grow. It's all about you all the time. Something's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, my expertise is branding. Now dealing with branding, hey girl, I can get it done. But doing hair and makeup, that ain't my expertise. Doing finances, that's not my role. You have to know what's your lane. I know how to put together flyers quick. I know how to put together branding, marketing, PR. I know how to promote. Barbara, you know that. But when it comes down to other stuff, even when I came on your last show, you taught me some stuff. I was like, okay, I gotta do this with my life. What I told you, I was like, Barbara, you help me. You inspire me, and that's what we gotta understand. We got to learn how to I always have my crown. We got to learn how to fix each other's crowns. Fix these crowns. If you see it's crooked, fix it. Okay, they don't look right. Fix it this way. We just have to learn how to fix each other's crown, and don't worry about she get more light than me. Stop doing that. It ain't that serious, baby. There's enough love out here for all of us. And when we learn that, Barbara, I promise you all kind of crazy supernatural doors will open up for you and everybody in your circle. Check your circle.
Yeah. So we're gonna bring on talking about taking the circle. Thank you, lady. And yes, she is right. That's another genius that Dr. Nikki has. She has a strategy. She does hers. I'm telling you. She told me when she told me, Barbara, I learned a few things from you. I'm like, oh my God, coming from you, that is an honor. That is an honor. So I'm loving how we rock it and roll it. You're gonna see more of this lady. This is not it. This is not it for her authors. This is not it. So with that, let me do a straight sponsorship, and we're gonna bring in these wonderful queens and get to learn them and their stories.
Yay!
Okay, we are back. Hi. So what's going on?
Hey, Geneva. Hey,
She has all the ladies. The ladies are here. The ladies are here. Wonderful. You all have been waiting so long. Thank you for being so patient. But I'm so glad you are all on the show. So can we hear you? I just want to just real quickly, and I think I need to turn down my volume a little bit. I get loud. I get loud. So first,
Talicia's view for me. I love the view, Talicia.
Look at this. So Dr. Nikki, I want you, because like I said, we working together today because this is all about you and your queens. So can you, before they get into a whole introducing themselves and talking about their genius and stuff, can you kind of go through each lady on your own just to tell their name and how you got to meet them?
Yeah, of course I can. Of course I can. I'm good at that. We have next to me on this side, beautiful Geneva Beach, Texas. Then we have down here on the corner, Talicia Stanton. She's out of Atlanta. Well, I say Atlanta. She's on the outskirts of Atlanta. And then on this side down here, we're doing this side down here. We have Carlotta up in Ohio. So we're so happy to have some of the ladies from the Overcomer book that had a chance to come on and do this interview with beautiful Barbara today. So I'm just happy to see my girls. I'm excited to see everybody.
Where my girls at?
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Thank
You
you.
are.
Thank you,
Thank
Barbara.
Thank you very much.
This is an honor. So they're like, just like, oh my God. I tell you, I literally was up at 3:30 this morning, just really looking at the videos and making sure, because I want, one thing about it, when you bring royalty in the house, you want to make sure your house is in order. And when they come in your
That's
house,
right.
that's what you have to do, because that's the respect. That's the respect. So I want to make sure I respected you, get your things. Now, just to let everybody know, these are just a few of the queens. There's what, total 14 in the book, right? Right, Nikki?
Yes.
14 in the book. So that, and we're gonna show I'm gonna show the video again in a little bit, because the video showed all the authors in there. And one of the authors I thought was so sweet is one of Nikki's daughters. Nikki,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, how old is she? She must be in her teens, right?
Grace is she's 15. Yeah, Grace is my daughter. She actually her mom passed away I think she was 12 when she passed away. And so I married her dad, and her testimony, it just brings tears to your eyes about the things that she have endured. And she's so strong. She's so strong to have endured all the hurt that she went through losing her mom. But I wanted her to tell her story, because can't no one tell your story like you. And I think it was a way of her telling her story, was a way of her coming out and releasing a lot of the grieving and pain that she went through losing her mom. So yeah, that's one of my babies.
Awesome, awesome. So we're gonna now talk about stories, because I always tell people your stories are so important. A lot of people be like, "But I went through this and this." I said, "But no, those are stepping stones of strength. Your stories are stepping stones of strength, and you help so many people in this world." So I want to start with, and please correct me if I say your name wrong, because I don't want to. I want to respect. So is it Geneva?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Geneva. So first of all, welcome to the show, Queen. I always call Lady Queen Diamond. So you're gonna be hearing that a lot coming out of my mouth today. So Geneva, I want you to introduce yourself. Just tell us a little bit about, not everything, but a little bit about your chapter, but then also more about you, so they can get to know you a little better.
Okay. Well, thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for allowing us to come here and share our stories. And thank you, Coach Nikki, for your guidance and for your obedience to the vision that God has given you for this. My name is Geneva D. Ashley. I am a wife, a Gammy. I am a founder of an organization called Her She Circle. The She stands for Sisters Helping Each Other. It's a support organization where we support women through difficult seasons, and we empower them to become the best version of themselves. So in addition to that, I am just a daughter of the King of Kings, and just humbled beyond words to do anything and everything that God has set for me, utilizing every gift. My goal in life is to stand before my Heavenly Father and say, Lord, I've exhausted everything you gave me. And I pray that you are pleased with my service. So this is an honor, it's a privilege, and I'm just grateful to be here and thankful to be a part of this group of phenomenal women. And to share a little bit more, I actually prayed not very far from the time I have never met Coach Nikki Ziegler in person yet. But I actually prayed and I asked the Lord, send me women to surround me that love him the way I do. I get tired of the cliches of, women just go to church and they claim to love the Lord, but they can't stand one another. So I got to a point where I said, God, I need to hear from the hearts of the women that share the same love for you that I do, that are not looking for competition, that will not be there to put their foot on my neck, but that will be there to bring the best out in me so that I can help them to do the same. So I'm here as an empowerment coach, public speaker, and all of that. But at the end of the day, I'm a teachable teacher and a coachable coach.
Ooh, lady, See, I'm gonna be crying by the time we get done with all this. I'm literally, my heart is for women so much, and when I just hear all this stuff, it just, I can just feel it within this group alone. I feel it. through all this thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna take a step back, get a tissue. You know, I'll be okay. I'll get it together. But I love how you said, Geneva, about you are looking for women. This is, again, this is so powerful, that are going to have your back, that's going to be there for you, that's going to lift you up, that's going to, you know, if you're trying to get to, like, you a speaker, and somebody might say, you know what, Geneva, I know some opportunities for you. Go over here, go over there. Instead of sitting there saying, well, I'm not going to tell about my opportunity because then she might take the opportunity. I might want to, you know, stop it. That's what you were saying earlier. So that's what I'm saying. Look for women like that. And just the listeners out there, see, this is wisdom that these ladies are giving you. This is wisdom. So I want to get to Talika. Did I say it right?
Talisha, how you doing?
Hey, Talisha.
Hello, how are you?
Queen. So just tell
Fine.
us a little bit about you and just a little bit about your chapter, and then we want to get to know you a little bit better.
I am Felicia Stanton, and I live in Georgia right now, and I have a daughter. Love the Lord, and always enjoy serving. I have a nonprofit, Dreams to Success movement, that I work with, fostering our youth, because I believe we need to invest more time in our youth. And I enjoy um, dealing with my family and writing. And writing became a tool for me as a young child, because I was teased a lot by other kids, and which caused a lot of self-esteem issues. Um, I wasn't the smallest kid. I was, a little overweight. So kids used to give me a hard time. And it was very difficult trying to fit in the crowd. At least I thought I had to fit in the crowd. Over the years, I learned how important it is to love myself and maintain my self-worth, and not try to follow in the crowd. Went to the military, also had some issues in the military with PTSD, and I learned how to overcome PTSD as well and deal with those issues from combat. So I enjoy working with a lot of women as well, and empowerment is so important in leadership. I believe that is important in our future today.
Awesome, lady.
Definitely.
We're sisters. I already see we're kindred sisters, because, girl, I got beat up in grammar school. They called me every name except my name.
Yes, and it's difficult. It
And
has
it's
an effect
difficult.
on
It
you.
really is. It puts an effect, self-esteem, low self-esteem. I thought I wasn't nothing. So I understand women that, we go through that with, when people are attacking you and saying that less than whatever in value. And that's another reason why I continue to say Queen Diamonds and everything, because I want to make sure women like you and all other women on this panel and out there, that they know how much of a gift and genius they are. So you are a gift. I mean, you going through what you went through, what you were saying with I mean, that's huge. And then dealing with that, with the self-esteem and all that stuff, I commend you. I commend you, lady. So again, this is an honor for you being on the show and sharing just a little. Like I tell people, listen to these ladies' stories. Listen to them. And see, she didn't make herself a victim either. She didn't make herself a victim. So let's go to our other wonderful queen. Is it Carlita? Uh-oh, she on mute.
Carlotta, hi everybody.
Hi.
Awesome, lady. So tell us a little bit about you,
Thank
woman.
you so.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I wanted to say first, just thank you for allowing us to be on your platform. And just for me telling Coach Nikki, Dr. Nikki now, how much I appreciate you bringing us to this platform with you, and allowing us to release a part of our lives that maybe we wouldn't have done, you know what I mean, in that timing. And so I know for me, being a part of the book has given me such a release and made me push myself. So I really wanted to take a moment to just say thank you both. And, especially thank you, Dr. Nikki, for pushing us along the way throughout this group. She sends us messages to encourage us, messages to pray for one another, messages to even to push ourselves further. I've learned even some things from her. I've been able to meet Dr. Nikki, but even before we met, she was already motivating me and pushing me along the way. So I really appreciate you both. But I am Carlotta Pace. I am from Akron, Ohio. I am a therapist. I'm also a coach and a speaker.
I am a founder of a small organization called I Was Here. But in my group, we do a lot of work with community leaders. So helping them to create unity inside of their groups. So I know for some people that might not be important, but it's so important to collaborate and to unite with one another. So, for example, right now I am assisting with one of our larger organizations in Akron, Ohio, over cheerleading and football. And so I just make it my goal to help other adults and leaders join with one another and really show each other love so that we're teaching our babies something important. A part of my journey and what I gave into the book was a summary of my life. I feel like when we go through things in life, born in a very small city, I hear people say a lot of times that they didn't have a chance. I believe that I have to disagree. I think that even though we might be born into some circumstances, that if we fight through, if we learn how to stand on who we are, especially who we are in Christ, that we can do anything. I believe that in my life, I have had to overcome myself. I've had to overcome the circumstances. But what happens is I was born to a mother who struggled with mental health issues as well as alcoholism. My father was literally a pimp. And so I seen a lot too soon. However, in the beginning, I struggled because I knew that I was different, but I didn't know how to overcome it. I didn't know how to get out of it. But slowly but surely, as God connected me to the right people, as He led me the right ways, I've been able to overcome any and every obstacle that has come my way. I think that most importantly, it's God that does it. That's the first thing. It's just keeping God first. But then next is the thing that you guys been talking about already, just knowing who you are and standing on that, not on what people say you are, what others people say you are, what people have put inside of you. In the book, I talk about how I was being called a hoe and out of my name before I even knew what those things meant. And so as you grow, those things stay inside of you. And so you begin to do things that sometimes you don't even understand. But as you learn yourself, I've been to counseling. I get coached. As Coach Geneva said, you have to be coachable. You have to be teachable. You have to let other people pour into you. So I have mentors. Oh my God, I thank God for them. Dr. Graham, who's my godmother, Sherry Jackson. I have mentors who pour into me so that I can pour into other people. And so I just thank God for every journey because I know that without Him, I wouldn't be able to do any of it.
Amen. Mm-hmm. See, I'm telling you, I'm holding back here. I'm getting better. I'm getting stronger. You ladies are just teaching us so much this morning. And I want to really get into. I was thinking as every woman was talking about, what you're doing now, as far as your businesses, your coaching. I mean, you have organizations, nonprofit organizations. You're helping other women, other people, and we didn't start off that way. That's why I'm loving that you put in your story in this book that our wonderful queen, Dr. Nikki, gather you all together. And see, one thing I love about collaboration books is not just saying, okay, let's just get a bunch of people, get in a book, tell the story, and then we're off. I mean, it is basically a movement and community that is created here. So this is not just a book. I always tell people, some people have Facebook groups. This is not just a Facebook group. This is more than that. Right. So this book is more than just, it's much more. I mean, even after you said, okay, we're in there. Last week you did the celebration, but you're still all together collectively helping each other and moving forward. So, our listeners out there, a lot of people, and I'm just going to put it on the other side. Sometimes it's not, as we all know, it's not easy going through our stories. When we say I am an overcomer woman, what the overcoming part is like the journey, the challenges. So I want you ladies to kind of just give a little synopsis of what you think, when you hear overcomer, and kind of give a little bit of like wisdom to the people that are back, probably in the back saying, yeah, I don't know if I can do it. I know they did because they're just wonderful queens, but who am I? So let's kind of give that encouragement and give me what your take is on an overcoming and to help others to do the same thing. So let's go back to whoever wants to take it first. I don't want to just call out names.
I can go first. I actually, when I think about overcoming, the analogy that comes to mind for me is taking a 10-mile hike after not working out for 20 years. Um, it takes everything out of you to press sometimes, and it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable to the point of painful. Nobody likes to suffer. Nobody likes pain. In my chapter, the name of my chapter is Steal Away. And it talks about my prayer life, becoming my prayer life even before I knew what a prayer life was. My life was framed from a child in violence. And so I learned to steal away and talk to God as a little bitty kid, not even knowing what I was doing, but I just knew that it felt safe and it felt good and I saw results. And so that's what I started to do. When I think in terms of overcoming now, it makes sense to me why I went through the things that I went through, because I know my position and I stand on my square very strongly at this point. And I feel like I'm covered on every side and nothing can move me off of it. But in order to do that, I needed the strength of the Lord to push me through that hike, even though I wasn't in the emotional condition, the mental condition, or any other condition, physically definitely not to go through it. But when we press, we can make it through with his help. So that's the best way I can describe it.
Oh, that's awesome. No, that's awesome. Like you said, you had to press and just keep that hope, and that's why it's so important to bring you queens on so people can see that there is hope there. They see the light. See, I look at everybody when the stories you are that in that tunnel, and then you had that little lantern walking. So you are all that lantern moving everybody out of there, moving everybody that darkness. You can do it. Neva said we can do it.
Yes, we can.
So
God's got his girls.
yeah, he got his girl. Even though sometimes we feel like, ooh. So, yeah.
Yes.
So I want to give this to other ladies. What do you? I mean, as an overcomer, what do you think? Take on that.
As an overcomer, I believe that keep pushing, stay focused, set goals and boundaries, and don't be so upset with yourself if you fail. Get back up and attempt again. Also, having a support system. A support system is so important. And don't be afraid to speak to someone. Don't be afraid to seek help if you need help. And we can do anything through Christ. And always keep the faith.
I love that about when you said, lady, the support system. It's just,
Yes.
I mean, we could say that over and over again. It is so important to have that because you don't feel alone. You feel like at least somebody's like, okay, you got this, like the cheerleader, or they got your back. So that's support system and getting the right people.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Everyone's not praying for you. Some people, right? Some people praying, but they're praying for you in other
Yes, say that.
aspects. So you have to be very careful with that.
Very. So,
So I think that I have to agree with everything they said already. Just to add that, I feel like a part of what, and I think I shared this with the ladies before, I feel like when we started doing this group, I then realized that I was an overcomer, right? And so what I mean by that is when we go through stuff in life, we just trying to get through whatever we got to get through. A lot of times we're not giving ourselves a lot of credit for what the things that we've already overcome. And so sometimes somebody might be sitting there like, well, I can't do it. They got it. They must got support. They must got money. They must got whatever it is. But that's not necessarily the case. I feel like in my life, what led me to do this book was the quite opposite. I felt that I was being pushed on every hand. I felt that I had no one. I felt that I needed to get up from a place that I never thought I would be in. So for me, doing the book was literally because of my pain. The rejection took me here, the not being able to see myself out of it and needing a way. So being diagnosed with health issues and going through other problems. So sometimes we don't see ourselves as an overcomer, but we are.
all of us have overcome something. All of us have had to make it through something. Maybe your story is not like our story, but your story is something else, but it doesn't mean you're not an overcomer. And so sometimes just give yourself more credit. Understand that whatever you've been through, you're still an overcomer. A lot of times we want to stop in the middle because it's too painful. Like Coach Geneva said, we don't like pain, but pain teaches us probably more than what joy teaches us. Happiness teaches us to have fun, but pain, you start learning all type of stuff about yourself, about others, about your family. You really learn how to transition. And so we are all overcomers. We are all, able to get through the things that we go through in life, because life doesn't always play fair, but at the end of the day, we can overcome.
Amen.
Ooh, some good.
That was good.
Real good. You better speak, Carlotta. I love when Carlotta starts speaking, baby. She be going in. I'm like, you better speak, Carlotta. You know what? And all the time, it's funny because when I was growing up as a child, my teacher, I would have good grades in class, but that daggone conduct, boy. I mean, my mom was like, you got good grades, but you talk too much. And I remember meeting my favorite teacher. I was in East Chase in Montgomery at the mall, and I met my favorite teacher. She said, now I see why you was making them C's, because God equipped you with a mouthpiece. So Carlotta, I'm gonna tell you something. You use that mouthpiece to draw people back to Christ. You use that mouthpiece to encourage people. The reason why we talk so much is because we have a lot to say, because we do a lot. You know what I'm saying? We don't let things hold us back. And, for me, this book has really opened my eyes to let me know that I'm on the path that God has placed me on. I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do this. And then talking to Coach Kern, which everybody knows that's one of the coaches on at my circle. I tell everybody, check your circle, see who's at your table. I talk about the table all the time. I talk about the circle all the time, because sometimes our circle changes all the time. Some people in your life for season, reasons, blessings. Check your circle all the time, because in this lifetime, people change all the time. They change all the time. So you got to make sure your circle is tight, and you got to know what position everybody plays. You know what I'm saying? Like Geneva will tell you, she and I have never met before, but I know if I call her, she is coming. She coming, because that's the relationship that she and I have. We've never met before, but the relationship that she and I have, I know if I call Geneva and say, girl, I need this, I know Geneva's coming, because kindred spirits. Carlotta has a lot of wisdom about herself, because one thing about her, she's a lovable person, but she ain't with the foolishness. Me and Talicia, me and Talicia just now learning each other. I meet her for the first time this coming up Saturday. We're having a big book signing. So I get a chance to love on her, hug on her, and just show her, you know what I'm saying, we in this thing together, fix each other's crown. And I know we always saying where, people are P-R-E-Y. Some people are praying on us, or some people are praying for us. But when you have a spirit of discernment, that stuff is not going to bother you. I don't care who is P-R-E-Y for me, because when God's on my side, nothing in hell is going to stop me from doing and being who God has ordained me to be. I can't worry about who don't like me. I can't worry about who don't want to be in my circle. I can't, Barbara, we don't have time. We don't have time to worry about haters. I'm the kind of person, if you notice on my Facebook page, I never talk about haters, because I don't have that kind of time. When if I'm typing out haters, I could be typing out love. God is love. You know what I'm saying? That's what he wants us to do. He wants us to love on each other. All that hater and who got that going on, who got this going on, guys, we don't have that kind of time. I don't even respond to stuff like that, because we don't have that kind of time. Time is not on our side, y'all. We are getting old. Let's be real. We're getting old now. So we got to be mindful of what we entertain and what we don't entertain. Even as an overcomer, we got to be able to bust an eye in the devil's face and say, you know what? You thought you had me, but I got away. You thought you were going to bring up my past and have me feel some type of way, but God covered me. And so this book is our coming out book to let the devil know God is on our side.
Mm-mm-mm.
We got to think positive all the time, even when we want to think negative. I tell people, when that negative thought comes in your head, pray and ask God to remove it quickly, because we don't have time for that. We got too much to do, guys. We got too many queens to fix. We got too many people we got to love on. We need love. Love covers everything. And that's what I love about coming on Barbara's show, because if you look at her show, she's always inspiring people. She's always uplifting people. I don't accept all speaking stuff, because you can't be attached to everybody. You got to make sure you know who you're supposed to be attached to so you can grow in love. Amen. So I'm excited about being on the show. I'm excited to be here.
Well, I feel like, God just gave me he always given us gifts and blessings, but today he has gave me a big blessing to bring you ladies on this show. So this has been a blessing to me. You have touched my heart and my soul. And Dr. Nikki, this is only the beginning with us. You know that, right?
You know, right? I meet you at the Comeback Champion.
Come back. You gotta come back, all of you ladies, and get to know even more. But the one thing I'm gonna do a quick little sponsor, and then I just want each lady to tell people where they can contact you, because that's the next step now. It's one step to be on the show and talk about each other. It's another thing to put some action. And I'm now talking to the listeners now. Talk to the listeners now. To put some action into it and really support what we were talking about earlier. Support these women. Buy the book. Dr. Nikki, I'm going to ask you to put in the private chat how to get it so I can put it out there. Yeah, put that book up there. Be proud of it. There we go. We'll be right back.
I want them to go to individual. They got their.
Okay, so I had to apologize because Dr. Nikki was talking and then it went right into the
No, what I
to the video again. So say what you were saying, lady.
No, they can go. You can go to the individual women themselves. We would have it starting this Monday coming up, but you're able to go to them directly. So Geneva has her books, Carlotta has her books, Cece have her book. So you guys can go to them individually, because what it is with them, this is their first time having their own platform. I want them to have their own connection with the people.
Oh, good. That's
good. Yeah.
That's see, that's what I'm talking about. This lady, look at this queen. So okay, ladies, go around and just let them know how they can contact you and how they can get your book. Uh-oh, everybody's on mute of static. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, you can reach me via email, genevadashley@gmail.com. So genevadashley@gmail.com. You can also go to www.hersheycircle.org. So www.hersheycircle.org.
Thank you, Queen.
Hey, I'm Carlotta. Again, you can reach me on Facebook and Instagram at Latia Ann or the I Was Here page. So I Was Here.org. Again, Latia Ann on Facebook.
Thank you, Queen. Queen Ann.
You can reach me, talisha.stanton@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, www.dreams2success, that's the number 2, to success.com or .org.
Hey, I hope people got that pen and paper out there. They're writing this down. Just to let you know, Dr. Nikki.
Oh, I'm good. I want y'all to support our ladies. Go support. Go to Geneva D. Ashley, Carlotta, Carlotta Pace, Talicia Stanton. Go and buy and purchase the books from these ladies. They are ready to ship your books. It's all about team. My job is to birth the vision and make sure these ladies get their platform, and we're doing our job, Barbara, so they can go directly to these ladies to purchase their book. We're so excited about being a part of your amazing show. And I'm happy to just have our ladies here to tell their own story.
Yes. Well, I just want to tell each and every one of you that you are just in my life an inspiration. Your stories are inspiration. You are going to touch and impact so many lives over and over and over again. You are always welcome. And I'm going to say this, always welcome to come on this platform and do your thing, so people can understand that you are queens and they need to resonate with you. So with that said, I mean, I know I can go on and on. I just, sometimes I just be like, I just want to stay with this.
You're good, but can I say something before I leave? I do want to say this. Congratulations to Geneva D, and they're going to be a part of the Herpreneur Bootcamp that's coming up in August. Woo, 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 woo. We are for speakers. If you are a speaker in the Herpreneur Bootcamp, now you can't reach me on that. Now, come on. You guys can follow me, drnickyziegler.com, coachnickyziegler.com. You know, inbox me directly. My assistant, have an amazing assistant. Shout out to Lysandra Matthews. Yes, we want to definitely help you guys. And we're looking for speakers. So if you know you have a passion to speak, hit me up, connect. We're taking it to a whole different level. So congratulations to the ladies that's going to be a part of this boot camp.
Okay, I knew with some Dr. Nikki, I said, now she has other things going on.
I have another book coming out called 18 Ways on How to Build a Stronger Her in Business. That book comes out in June. We're excited about that book coming out. You'll be seeing it. Of course, I got something.
So, and that's why I know that we are hooked here, because, you know, I was talking to Dr. Nikki and I said, I really would like, because on my weekly show, because I come on every day now instead of 3 times out the week, this started the first week of that. So this is an every day, Monday through Friday. And I dedicate, especially Thursdays and Fridays, for, you know, speakers, authors, people that are doing their thing like you guys, you ladies are doing, to come on so you can shine and people get to know you. So Dr. Nikki, you know, everything you're doing, we need to talk so we can bring more people on here and show them what we're doing, what you're doing.
Well, you know, I'm gonna be a part. You know, you're already a part of the Herpreneur Bootcamp. Barbara's going to be one of our sponsors for the bootcamp. So, ladies, you'll be back on her show very soon. That's her. Listen, we're going to ride this wheel until the wheel falls off. Y'all hear me? We love us some Barbara Beckley. We love her. So, we're going to support everything she do. So, when y'all see her on live doing come down your timeline, just show some love to my sister. Come in and speak to her and share her posts. Amen. And we need some testimonials as well. So we're going to pump it up.
I like from the ride to the wheels fall off. I'm loving it. And then you know, I go to find another wheel. And then we just keep on riding.
You better say it.
Okay, ladies. Well, thank you again. I show you much love, much virtual hugs. Please stay healthy. And if your mother, early Mother's Day, because that's coming up this weekend. And honor these mothers, honor these ladies, honor these queens. And we will see you very soon. Not saying goodbye, but we will see you. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, queens.
Bye.
I'm hanging on your every word. The love inside, I feel it burn. I've never felt this way before. I've had a taste, now I want more. So here we are. Just you and me. I'm overwhelmed when you touch me. You talk so sweet. I hear the sound. 'Cause when you do, my feet won't touch the ground. My feet won't touch the ground.
Come in here. Woo, 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 woo. Pardon. Wow, what a show! What a show to the point where we went over time, which I was like, you know what? I used to worry about that, which I know I got to respect people. I got to respect my time. I got to respect your time. And I get it. We're working on that. You know, we're forever working. But it was just awesome to meet these ladies. And I want to give them their due. You know, I want to make sure they got that platform so they can say who they are and people just resonate and work with them. So with that, and I want to put out there, if you want to be a guest or a sponsor on the Diamond Factor experience with Barbara Beckley, reach out to me through the Facebook Messenger. My email is diamondfactorexperience@gmail.com. And let's have a talk, because you can come on here and put your platform and let people get to know you, get to know your story, get to know who you are. You know, you might have a product or service you want to put out there. This is what it's all about. You know, the pandemic had us in here, you know, the Zoom and everything. Let's use this wisely now. Let's not take this for granted. Let's not take getting on StreamYard, getting on Zoom. I mean, we all know all the facets of technology, and use it to benefit so we can lift each other up, just like today with the ladies from I Am an Overcomer Women book. Go and get the book. I'm going to make sure I put the links out there. I'm loving how Dr. Nikki said that each and every woman has their own personal like landing page, sale page, so they can sell their own books. And you know, that's just showing you the love of being collaborative and working with each other, and not so much of, you know, in competition with each other, because that just will kill your business. That will kill everything when you have to just be jealous and competition. I keep saying that over and over because I see it, and it's ugly. It's very ugly. That's why I'm always talking about come on the show. That's why I don't mind putting the platform saying, hey, this is you. This is your 30 minutes. This is your 40 minutes. Because like, excuse me, I call her coach and doctor because she just became a doctor over the weekend, Dr. Nikki. Like she said, we don't have time to waste. Time, one thing, you can get more money. You can find and create how to get more money. You can find out how to create more relationship and more friends, but you can't get time back. You can't get time back. So remember, as I said at the beginning, and I'm pulling the quote back up, focus on the results, not the challenges. The challenges are just your stepping stones to get to the results. Remember, everything that you go through, everything that you deal with, and I'm talking about the little ugly part that we always say, it's a stepping stone to strengthen you, to encourage you. And I know you're like, how I get encouraged? I went through this, or I went through this battle in life. But it's there so you can learn from that. And see, sometimes it's not so much and we'll put this out here, sometimes it's not just you to learn from it, but sometimes we go through things for others, for them to learn in their lives. So that's even extra. I know a lot of people's like, oh, that's a reach. Yes, it's a big reach, because I've noticed some people said, Barbara, I know, because I'd be like, dang, I went through this again. But then somebody comes to me, always seem like I always have to say, Barbara, you know what you went through, I was seeing how you handled it. I was seeing how, you know, you took in so much grace and patience and love. And you showed me that I need to take my challenge the same way. I'm just using this example. That's why I'm saying it's so important to tell your story. That's why I'm saying it's so important to step up, level up in your life, to make sure that you are on point. Because we're all leaders. We're all leaders. Even though if you want to be, we are all leaders. So with that said, I will see you tomorrow. We have Tracy Brooks coming in the house talking about finances and, you know, making sure that, you know, you're just looking, checking back at what you're doing financially. So, and then we got another guest speaker. I always, when I get the ones that I don't want to say the name because it's a surprise. I like surprises. I can surprise you, the listeners. So with that, keep going today. Focus on what you need to do, because what you're focusing on to bring you up is going to help so many others in life. Remember your PPD. You know, I'm not going to forget that. I always say that's your foundation, your purpose, passion, and drive in your life. Your purpose, passion, and drive, that is your foundation. I call that the Diamond Factor. So with that said, I will see you on Friday. Bye.